Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a timeless reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is a message that you are not hearing, right? This is the Princess of Swords. We're busy with something mentally, right? I think you're highly educated. I think you're very intelligent. Doesn't have to be university. I think you're smart. I think you know a lot of things. I think that you're engaged in some kind of intellectual work right now, and there's a message that's not getting through right now. Right. It's kind of as if, somebody's tapping you on the shoulder with some really important message, and you're just, not now, I'm busy. This is the message that you need to receive. Okay. And the Princess of Swords is so wrapped up in what they're doing. And I think you're doing very important work. But there's something else that's going on here. So we're gonna look at that. Okay. We're going to see what this could be or where it could be coming from. It's a message about the Eight of Pentacles, perhaps. We do have the Emperor, the Four of Wands, a Nine of Cups, an Ace of Wands. I feel like you're working really hard. This Eight of Pentacles, you've got your nose to the grindstone. You're not deviating from your work. It's very much like you're someone who is sitting here working. I don't know what you're doing, like this, maybe knitting something, maybe some kind of surgery. You're working, and someone's tapping you on the shoulder, and you're just, not now, I'm busy, I'm working. And this is you with your head down, nose to the grindstone, doing the thing, doing the work, paying attention to the details, really focusing on things. But then it's almost as if Spirit is here, Major Arcana, Emperor energy, to tell you, look, you're needed elsewhere. Stop doing what you're doing for a second. It's almost like you're at work and you keep building the same product, and then it's like your boss is coming in and trying to get your attention and say, hey, they canceled the order, but you're just saying, no, I've got to finish these. I've got so many to do, but it's not, nobody needs them now. I don't know if that is exactly it, but I feel like there is something new that that needs your attention right now. Spirit's trying to say, hey, stop what you're doing. Look over there. Okay? Let's find out, if we can, what is over there. What is this thing that you need to look at? We got an Ace of Pentacles. Maybe there's a better way of doing things. Maybe there's, maybe there's an opportunity or a job out there, or maybe there is a more efficient way of doing what you're doing. Maybe there's a new procedure. Maybe there's a new part. Maybe there's a new innovation. There's something that Spirit's trying to show you to make your life easier. Okay? Now we've got the Star. Yes, it is Spirit with this message. We've got a Ten of Pentacles, and yes, we've got the Knight of Cups, which is the giving and receiving of love. It's the giving or receiving of a gift. And this could be a real gift from the universe, from your spirit guides, God, Goddess, deity, ancestors, guardian angel, whatever you want to call it. I feel like this is a gift, and we need to kind of look up from what we're doing. Maybe this is an intellectual or a mental kind of work that you're involved with. It does have a physical component to it. Or it could be this is kind of how you're planning on making money, and Spirit's trying to show you, hey, you're really close to that perfect idea that's going to make this a lot easier for you. Okay, this is sometimes the card of the inspiration or the innovation or the invention, right? This is that good idea coming to you, and it's like Spirit's trying to give you this good idea, but we're so caught up in what we already think is the way, right? I think that you're fixed now. We've got a 4 of Wands here. I think that you have decided that this was the answer, and so this is what you're doing. I don't know, typing on a keyboard, putting something together. I don't know. But Spirit's trying to say, hey, be open to a even better idea. It could be you're in a group of people and, you're very fixed in what you believe, but there is a good idea coming from somewhere else, but you don't want to listen. I don't know if that's really the case. We don't have a lot of court cards here. We do have the 2, though. So it runs the possibility of there being a good idea coming from elsewhere, but you are committed to the solution that you found, and so you don't want to hear anybody else's good idea. Okay? Either way, this is Spirit asking you, Spirit's trying to get your attention, your spirit guides or your guardian angel, your soul, your spirit, your higher mind, your intuition, your conscience, whatever, trying to get your attention to say, hey, there's a better way of doing this that's going to make your life easier, more productive, and more successful, more rewarding, right? More lucrative. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is that factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to put it right here. We're going to put Bob Ross right there. Tiny Bob Ross. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay? If at any point during the program you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments below. All right? Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Okay? I think it's a good idea to practice these things as often as we can. All right, let's look around the room. We've got really just these 2 major arcana energies, right? We've got the Star and we've got the Emperor. And the Emperor is down here below, right? And it's within you. And it might be even you kind of having this, this part of your spirit, part of your energy that's activated, this real boss energy, right? And sometimes with an Emperor, they don't want to listen to anybody else, right? The Emperor knows best. The Emperor makes the decision. They put their foot down. They stamp their whatever, they put their seal on it, and that's it, final. A good Emperor, however, is open to hearing other information, open to what the advisors might be saying, okay? And I don't think you are intentionally not listening. I think that you are so deeply involved in your work. You are so committed to this because you're happy doing it. This feels good. This is where you want to be. You enjoy this work, whatever it is. If it's intellectual work, if it's a job, if it's your spiritual creative work, maybe you are writing a book or something or knitting something. Maybe you're retired and this is you kind of putting in effort into your purpose, right? Whatever it might be. But we get so locked in that we sometimes don't hear when there's a good idea going on, even in our own mind or our own soul. With the Star card, this is in the environment. So it still suggests that there is a possibility that this good idea is coming from somewhere outside of yourself. Now, what we could have with the Ace of Wands and the Star, leading to the Ace of Pentacles, is that this is an idea coming from outside of you, but also from inside of you. And what I mean, it's kind of a creative problem solving. It's kind of like taking a moment to raise your head up from the work you're doing and look around, experience the world. Go do something, go get some frozen yogurt. This inspiration will come to you, but not if we're so occupied with what we're doing. We're so locked in that you're so in that zone that there's a very narrow circle around your consciousness right now. We got to go out and do other things. Go watch the birds, go have a meal, get some enchiladas, right? And just observe, just look around at things. You might see a little piece of cilantro on your plate, and that will give you that idea. It'll click, right? And then you'll suddenly know, how to make this work you're doing so much more efficient, right? So it's kind of coming from outside of you, but it's coming from within. It's that connection that we make, right? It's kind of a synchronicity, but not really. There's just something about that piece of cilantro or that little pea in the rice, that gives you that idea. So it's not necessarily a synchronicity, but your mind is in this creative zone because you've taken a break from this really locked in narrow circle that you've been working in. And now we're just open. Now we're just taking it all in. We're open, right? And we're receptive. And we're not looking for anything, but we're seeing everything. Okay? We're not actively looking for an answer. We're just observing the colors, the shapes, the symbols, the sounds, the smells, the tastes of everything. And it doesn't have to be in a restaurant, but that's my go-to place. Just out in nature, or just with your friends or your family, or just going for a walk, right? Whatever it might be, reading a book, just being, maybe not reading a book. That might be too specific. That might be too narrow as well, right? And I think something that we witness, something we experience, something we see, hear, taste, touch, or smell, will ignite something, will give us that idea. It'll click. And then your friends or whatever be like, what? What is it? It's just cheese. What are you looking at? But it hits on something for you, and it gives you that connection that you need, right? And that's the creative kind of problem solving. There's a name for that sort of technique or that sort of phenomena. I don't know what the name of it is. But I think that's what's going on here. And that really, to me, is something from the environment filtering through spirit, filtering through your divine energy, your divine light, your divine spiritual perception and insight, sparking that idea. And vice versa, too. It works both ways, right? And then this idea, through your spiritual insight, you're realizing how to then get this thing more streamlined, get it more successful, solve the problem that you've been trying to figure out, or whatever it is that we're doing. Make this more successful. Okay? Got that 10 of Pentacles over here. So this is a flow that goes both ways, right? From the environment to your imagination, to your consciousness, your awareness, and from your awareness, then back out into the world. So it has to go both ways. It is kind of it's a two-way street here, all right? But the four, like I said, with the Four of Wands here, this is you living in that narrow circle. And this was our idea. This seemed good, perfect. This seemed great. Best idea I've ever had. Put it in place. Start doing it. Start doing the work. But it keeps us very narrow, right? And I think Spirit is telling you that there is a better way of doing it, a more efficient way. There's something that will make this even better, right? Not that this wasn't good. You had no reason to believe that this wasn't good. This is working excellently. But Spirit's saying, be open to that inspiration to make something even better, to find an even better way, right? To build on what you've already done, the great ideas that you've already had. And then we've got another great idea, and now things are always improving. That's kind of like the advancement, like, technological advancement kind of thing in your particular situation. It could be work, it could be something technical. It could be about a relationship even, But we've got to get a handle on this Emperor energy, who is very, very hardline, very, very fixed, doesn't want to listen to anything, isn't flexible, right? We've got to remember what it's like to be a good emperor. We listen to others, and we're not so rigid, right? We take things seriously, yes, but we also know how to have fun and enjoy life. We've got that happiness up here with the Nine of Cups, because this is what you ultimately want anyway. The reason why you're doing all of this is to be happy, to live a happy, meaningful, productive, satisfying life. It's not just about how much you produce or how fast you can produce it. It's about quality, not quantity, right? And I think Spirit's showing you a better way maybe to get the best of both worlds. It's a real gift. See, there's that Knight of Cups there at the end. Spirit's telling me that something has fallen and broken around you. Glass. I'm hearing glass break. Something has fallen. Yeah, what is that? Maybe you're working, maybe there's something I don't know if this is taking place in the home or something like that, right? But Spirit's also telling me, or your guides are telling me, or my guide is telling me, that you're about to be acknowledged for something. You're about to be accepted into a group for something. I see a group of people and you on the other side, and they're like welcoming you in. I don't know if it's professional or personal, if there's some sort of a family merging, if there's a marriage taking place, or there's some sort of a pulling you into the fold kind of feeling. Yeah. So maybe you are joining a new church or temple or lodge or order. Maybe you are merging with a family, or joining some sort of group or club, something like this. Yeah. But I feel it could be something professional. But I feel like you're about to be kind of brought into the group. Yeah. Anyway, the Nine of Cups, yes, that is happiness. That is pursuing our happiness. This is a focus on the quality of life. Okay? And the quality of life doesn't always correlate with the quantity of life, right? In other words, what we're doing is not as important as how or why. We could have the highest quality of life even in a life that doesn't really seem, by certain standards of the world and of society, doesn't seem all that productive. That has nothing to do with the quality of life. Your quality of life does not equal how much you produce. Okay? Let's let that sink in a little bit. Okay. I'm being told that you've been getting a lot of weird phone calls lately. Like you answer and there's nobody there, or it's a weird number and then there's nobody on the other line, or that almost like you get a call, your phone rings and then you answer it, but it's like it never rang, and there's nothing in the call logs. It's like it didn't happen. There is with the phone too. There's that someone trying to communicate. I don't know if you have. It almost feels like an ancestor. It almost feels like there's an older male energy that's around you right now that has passed, that is trying to communicate with you as now one of your spirit guides, an ancestor kind of energy. Maybe someone that you haven't met before, right? They're also talking, they're pointing to your wallet or wherever you keep like your credit cards and stuff. They're pointing to something in there. Maybe something sentimental or something special or a little something unique that you have in that wallet thing, right? And I wonder if this message is coming from that person. I don't know who that is to you. It could be Dad, but it feels like it's a couple generations back at least. It feels further removed from you than that. Okay. There's also a connection with the Mediterranean. I don't know if it's Greece or Turkey or something like that. But there's a connection there for you. And I don't know what that is. Ancestors may be from there, if that's your heritage. Or if you vacation there, you know somebody there, or you recently met somebody, or you will be soon meeting somebody from there, from that area. Okay. Anyway, back to the Nine of Cups, because this is satisfaction not only on the physical plane. There's physical abundance. Yes, that's part of it, right? Our quality of life is in some way tied to what we produce and how much of it we produce, right? There's a certain satisfaction in that. But that is the lowest and smallest kind of portion of our overall quality and happiness. We've got abundance on the mental emotional plane. We've got abundance and pleasure and satisfaction on the spiritual creative plane. Okay? We live in all of these realms and beyond. Right? And all of these dimensions and more. And I think that with the Eight of Pentacles, I was looking at the four here, with the Four of Wands to the Eight of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, it is kind of this fixed energy, right? Even number, even number, even number. Well, we want the ace. We want the original odd number to go and upset these balances. We want a 5 of Wands. We want a 9 of Pentacles. We want, we want an 11 of Pentacles over here. So it's kind of upsetting the balance of the even-numbered cards, because the even-numbered cards are states of being. They're fixed. They're not moving anywhere. And that's just it. The universe is motion, right? It is energy in motion. It is a verb. It is doing. It is living, right? It is growing, evolving, changing. So we have these fixed cards, and just because they are here indicates that they need to change, right? There's something that is too routine, something that is too fixed, something that is too static, too stationary. Okay, so that's what Spirit's given you here with the ace and the ace. Let's put change into, let's put change here, let's put change here and here, right? Earth on earth, fire on fire. Let's change the emperor a little bit. Let's make some different decisions. Let's be creative in how we problem solve. Let's be creative in how we approach our routine work, whatever we're doing now. I don't know what the nature of this work is. Okay, we're focused on the Nine of Cups here. That is the quality of life. That is us living a quality life, right? Because it's a 9. It's a verb. It's an action. It's a function. This is us living our best life, pursuing our happiness, following our bliss, right? Living a quality life, improving. This is in some ways, this is the best card in the whole tarot pack, because this represents, I think, it's a very ubiquitous purpose, right? Because this is us transcending the stationary life. This is us always looking to alleviate suffering for ourselves and our loved ones, to improve the quality of life for ourselves and our loved ones, for the world, for the universe. Like, who are your loved ones, right? Could be the entire universe is our loved one. So really this reading's all about connections. How are we connecting with the work we're doing? How are we connecting with the environment? And maybe this thing that sparks it, maybe it's not this cilantro on your plate. Maybe it's a word spoken by a friend. Well, we've got to go hang out with our friends so that, maybe, if we're not looking for it, maybe randomly we will catch that odd word or phrase that will give us that idea, that will make things click, and we'll understand how to move this along in a different way. Because maybe you're focused on something so intensely now because we're trying to get it to do something. We're trying to get it to work, And what does work mean? Well, it means motion. You have a machine that's not doing anything. It's static. It's stationary. It's a 4. It's maybe a 6, maybe a 10, right? But it's static. It's stationary. It's not doing anything. We want it to work. And that basically means it's going to start doing what it was designed to do. There's going to be motion in it. It's going to start moving around, right? Doing something. Anything, really. And it doesn't have to be something that produces something else. The result of our work, right? Well, what is the result? What is the value of our work? Okay. What is the quality of our work? What is the value of our work? What is its significance, its meaning, its purpose? It's not just about, how much of something we produce that then can be sold as a product for money or whatever, right? So we've got to get away from that. We've got to get away from what defines quality work or what defines meaningful, valuable work. Yeah. Work doesn't have to be something that we can trade for currency. Anyway, that's my rant. Let's go to the path of the serpent now. Of course, we've got the Ace of Pentacles because this is the instrument by which you do put some of these things in motion. We get the machine to work. Okay, and I feel like you're using your intuition. We've got this star energy. It is all about your connection with the divine, right? The star is illuminating itself. The spirit is illuminating you. The star is illuminating itself because you are the star, right? You are spirit. We're pouring the water on our own head, trying to enlighten ourselves, and we're pouring the water out on the world, on the ground beneath our feet. And that's a couple of things. That is us illuminating the path before us. That's spirit showing us the way. But it's also us realizing that our divine intuition, our divine light, that spiritual insight that we're gaining, right, where you kind of have that connection with something in the environment that sparks something in your imagination, in your consciousness. that has to be then implemented. It has to be poured out. It has to be poured out on the earth. I've got a bad mouth today. It has to be poured out onto the earth. It has to flow from us, right? And so it really is a two-way street. It comes to our consciousness, and then we have to manifest that. Okay, and that's the indication here, and that's what we're doing with this Ace of Pentacles. We're putting something new into motion. We're getting that inspiration that's going to streamline or renovate or innovate in this particular situation. Whatever this work is, whatever this, I don't know if it's a problem that you're trying to solve or whatever the work is that you're doing, whatever the machine is that you're trying to get moving, right? And the Ten of Pentacles, we really talked about that already. And this is in the position of your fear, worry, and concern. You don't want to just be a producer, right? You don't want to just make something as in exchange for currency. You want your life to have true wealth and richness, not just in like a quantity, like you're being judged and you're being valued or you're being evaluated based on how much you can produce, right? And so that's what you're kind of worried about. You're worried about, it's kind of selling out our energy, our spirit, right? When we're doing something just for the resale value, let's say, okay? And that's why this card is in the position that it's in. This is the fear that these pentacles will be empty vessels. If there's no meaning, there's no quality in that. There's no true value to you in this. It's very subjective, right? And that's why this card is called wealth. It's not called money. It's not called riches. It's not called fortune and fame, right? It could be those things. Yeah, I think fortune and fame and riches and money, and that's all part of it. But that's maybe just one little small part at the bottom here. What are these other cups all about? What will give your work value and meaning? We see this card as being our best life, our ideal life. Well, we have to know what this is. It's true wealth. What do we find valuable in life? What has meaning for us? Okay, and I think that's part of what Spirit is showing you. Because maybe here we've been very focused on being productive. We've been trying to do quality work, but it's different. We're still focused on things as products, right? As kind of end result things. Whereas up here with this, and through the gift of our spiritual insight, we're realizing the deeper meaning in what we're doing, not necessarily what we're doing, but how and why. What is the meaning and value? What is the purpose of what you're doing? And this is a real gift from Spirit, and it's really a gift of happiness, of showing you the way, that showing you the path to your happiness. All right, let's look at that mystery card. Right off the bat, Lover's card, right? Your power card, I get to ring the bell, and I think that's to me, that's the connection. Right? And it doesn't mean romance, you know that. It doesn't have to be a literal lover's situation. It's about the connection. It's about the choice, right? It's about kind of being present and responding to the world. It's about our commitment to Spirit, our commitment to our quality, happy life here. So that's what I'm thinking for this Lover's card. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. I'm going to close my eyes. Oh, look at that. Yes, Lover's card. Look at that. Can you believe it? It's your power card. Whoops, I get to ring the bell. Because this is your superpower. This is really, this is talking directly to your higher self, your true self, right? Your spiritual identity. And I think that this is a message from your guides. I still feel like it's coming through the medium of this ancestor energy, this spirit guide ancestor, maybe grandpa, great-great-great-grandpa even. But I feel like this is really showing you the connections that you need to make. Now, this is the connection too, the connection with that thing in the environment that gives you that spark of insight, It's making those kinds of connections. Anyone can see a piece of cilantro on a plate, but it does something to you. you're able to make that creative connection with things. Maybe it's not cilantro, right? Maybe you don't like Mexican food. How dare you? Whatever that connection is, again, it could be a random word from a friend or from a stranger or on TV or just a random thought or just anything, literally anything, right? But we have to open ourselves up. We have to get out of this narrow circle that we're in and just be free for a little bit to experience the world. We have to put ourselves in a position where we can make connections. You know? Anyway, beautiful, beautiful energy. I really do like this. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Gemini every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Keep in mind, this is a timeless reading. There is no time limit or time frame on it. Whenever you are watching this, it is present and relevant in your life right now. Okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Does not cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know how this is resonating with you. All right. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.